Hey, this is Joe Sound Professionals. I wanted to show off a new wireless system from BOYA. This is the BY-XM6-S2 wireless system. So that is the dual transmitter to single receiver wireless system from BOYA. They also make a single microphone system, which is the XM6-S1. We've got the dual transmitter system here today, which is the XM6-S2. So it is a wireless system, which means that you have two transmitters and they're going to send signal wirelessly audio from the transmitters in the air to the receivers. The receiver would then connect with a cable to some recording device. So that could be a USB sound card going into a computer, could be a digital recorder, could be some kind of mixer, something like that. But it's just a standard wireless system. The cool part about this system obviously is you have two transmitters. So for core reporters, you can really spread these around the room and get a wider picture for recording. The transmitters also conveniently have built-in microphones. So on the top here, this little section there, that is a built-in microphone. And so you don't need any other microphones. You just take these, place them around the room, and they will start transmitting audio. They do also, though, have a built-in mic jack. And so you could add microphones into them, more sensitive microphones especially, and that would improve your pickup ability. So the wireless systems from BOYA come with a bunch of accessories here. First nice accessory that comes with it is 3 USB cables for charging. The BOYAs do charge via a USB-C connection here, and that means you could connect them to any standard wall adapter, like 5-volt wall adapter for USB, or you could connect them to your computer to charge, or any type of like battery pack, as long as you have a USB to USB-C cable for charging, and they give you 3 of them, one for each unit here, you can charge the packs. Battery life, the BOYA says 7 hours for the transmitters and 6.5 hours for the receivers. You can use multiples of these systems at a time. They say up to 5 receivers can be running at a time and 10 transmitters. So five sets of these wireless systems can be running at the same time. So back to the accessories, 3 USB cables, that's useful. Use those for charging. They do include 2 lapel mics for the transmitters. These microphones are crap, don't use them. They give you some accessories for said crappy microphones, also don't use that. They give you these little, have an unfortunate name, dead cat windscreens. They are for the built-in microphones. You see they just kind of clip, if you can see that. They just push into the top there where the microphone is. They just push in and sit like that. Unless you're in a really windy situation, you don't have to use these. You can just leave it without. They also include 2 patch cables. This is the cable that you would use to connect from the receiver. There's a line out there on the receiver. You would take one of these cables and connect it to your recording device. Now, these cables are not identical. One, you'll notice here, has 2 stripes on each plug. 2 on that one, 2 on that one. This is the one you would probably want to use. This will connect to, one side will go into the line out here on the receiver, one side will go to your USB sound card or digital recorder or mixing desk, or even into the mic input on a camera. This other cable here, you'll notice has 3 stripes on the plug on the left and 2 stripes on the plug on the right. The 2-stripe side will go into the BOYA. This 3-stripe plug, this will go to a combo jack. So that's like a headphone jack built into a phone, or into the headphone jack built into a computer. Generally, you don't want to use that unless you're doing that kind of recording, but especially for core reporting, that's not really something we're going to do. So this patch cable we would set aside and just use the standard 2-stripe patch cable. They also give you a manual and a nice little carrying case. All right, let's power up these devices. So to turn on the BOYA wireless systems here, all 3 have the same buttons on the side, which is a minus, a set with a plus symbol on the button, and mute with a power symbol. So we're going to hold down the power symbol to turn on the 2 transmitters and the receivers, or the receiver. The receiver has 2 levels on it, one for each side, A and B, for the 2 transmitters, and then each transmitter has its own level. You can adjust the volume for the transmitters with the plus or minus symbols. That's the set and the minus symbol. So the minus symbol counts down, that number counting up and down, that's your volume. So 0 to 6, like so. You can do that for both. For the sake of core reporting, you probably want them both at 6. And then same thing on the receiver. If you count up and down That's the volume heading out to your digital recorder or to your USB sound card. To get into the menu for the devices, you hold down the set button. Hold that down, that puts you into the menu. Here on the receiver, the first option is output. Now, if you are using two transmitters like this, you probably want the output in stereo, the way it's set now. If your output is in mono, the way you change that is you hold down the set button again, and that's going to highlight the choice here, and then you can use either button, either plus or minus, to scroll through the two options, which is either stereo or mono. So we want stereo, so we're going to go back to stereo, and then we're going to hold down the set button again, and that'll lock in the choice. And then we can scroll through the other options here. Mute enable, you can turn off the ability to mute, maybe something you want to do. Backlight on, connect, yes. So this would be if the receiver and transmitters didn't come or weren't already connected. They do come pre-connected, so you don't actually have to connect anything. And then you can choose language and factory restore. And then it tells you what version of firmware it's running. To get out of the menu, just hold down the minus button. That takes you back to the main screen. On the transmitters, hold down the set button to get into its menu. Here for input, you have a choice for the signal coming in. You almost always want to keep this on input. If we look at the other option, we have line in. So that would be if you were plugging in something that was line level, which you almost never will be doing for court reporting. But let's say you had a cable coming from like a court sound system, like a mixer. That's probably line level, in which case you would use that. You probably wouldn't be doing that though, so you want to keep this on mic in. I'm going to lock in that setting by holding down the set button. Mic gain 6, mute, backlight, connect. So pretty much the same options as the receiver, except for the first option, which is the input. And when you want to leave that on mic in. And then to get out of the menu, hold down the minus button. All right, so both transmitters are now transmitting to the receiver here. So we can see, let's see, this is, so we can see that's the A transmitter, right? You can see that popping up on the A, and that means this should be B, and it is. So this is great, and you could use a system just like this. Take these, place them around the room. Or if you really want to supercharge the performance of these transmitters, we recommend pairing them with a couple of our plug-in microphones. So these are our triple M1s, and they have very high sensitivity mic elements inside. You can take these and plug them into the mic input on both of the transmitters. And then hopefully you can see that there on the receiver. Now I can really make those levels pop. Like so. So you take this combination and place them around the room, you'll get really good pickup. It is definitely an improvement over the built-in microphones. I also want to show on the back of the units here, they do have little contacts for what's probably going to be some sort of docking station for the wireless systems. So don't hold me to that, but that's most likely what those little contacts are, is they'll probably have some sort of drop-in cradle charging system for these wireless systems at some point. It's not released yet, and I haven't heard any news of that, so it may never come out, but that's what that would be for, some sort of charging cradle. All right, so that is the BOYA XM6-S2 wireless system, the dual transmitter to single receiver system with all of its included accessories. Make sure to check it out on the website, soundprofessionals.com. We're thinking this is going to be a good option for court reporters to get more sound pickup in the room, especially with people with masks and plexiglass, especially when paired with some of our high sensitivity plug-in microphones. Should be a good option for you. I'm Joe from Sound Professionals. Thank you for watching.